Oh, hello, and welcome to the Good Movie Chat About, where we have good chats about good movies with good guests. I'm Bobby, also known as Lord Gugu. I switched it up this week. And we are here to chat about some good movies. Welcome. Feel free to follow and even subscribe if you like what you see. Yeah, no pressure. And if you are watching this VOD later on YouTube, please do remember to like and subscribe. That's very nice of you to do. Okay, enough of that crap. Today's guest is the host of the Guys podcast and the POD cast when he's not leading his violence gang. It is, of course, none other than the great Queeber himself. It's Bryan Quinby, Murder Bryan. Welcome.
Hey, how's it going? I'm not allowed to be named that.
I know.
I'm also not Queeber, but I'm also not allowed to be Murder Bryan.
The Queeber, maybe. I know. I actually have. The title of this stream I put "Unaliver Bryan" just to be safe.
Yeah, I would do that to be safe. Yeah. I'm toxic.
That's right.
Here.
Murder. Let me just make this like clear as possible here on the Lord Gugu stream. We are against murder. We are anti-murder. Murder is bad, and I'm not afraid to say it.
Well, I just humbly disagree. So.
Well, you know, we can respect both sides here. Bryan, the first thing I always ask, and actually I already saw you have a drink there, is, you know, movies go great with concessions. I have an iced tea. What, you have a Diet Mountain Dew there?
Diet Mountain Dew. Yeah.
Very
caffeine. You have to get a little caffeine going.
That's what that iced tea's for as well, a bit for me. Yeah, I'm off of sugar sodas for like almost 6 months now, a long time, and but I can't do diet soda. I have to do zero for the sodas. I can't.
I don't like zero.
See,
so I like the flavor of diet.
We're taking opposite sides on everything so far, Bryan. Murder,
that's right.
Diet soda.
Yeah, no, I like the flavor of aspartame.
That
is the thing.
That is crazy to me. That's the thing I can't stand is that the aspartame. You don't like zero, but you do love Zero with the H as a young comic saints.
Yes, I do love him. I grew up in a house where there were 5 kids and we didn't get a lot of pop. And when we did, it was either generic or my stepmom's diet Pepsi. Yeah. And I'd steal the Diet Pepsi. So I think that built a connection in my brain to like, oh God, I love this stuff. It's so refreshing.
And I hated anything diet always as a kid. Like even a sip would just drive me crazy. And I remember one time I was at a friend's house and she was like, "Oh, would you like a soda?" And I was like, "Yeah, what do you have?" And then she like listed a bunch of diet sodas and no regular sodas. And I was like, "Oh, well, never mind. No, I don't really like diet soda." She acted like I was
somewhere else.
She acted like I was so rude. I was just like, "Oh, well then no, thank you." I wasn't like
it's picky.
Fuck off.
You could argue that it's picky, I
don't know. I don't like diet soda. I was like, I'll have a water. It's fine. I don't think I took a water.
Well, having a water is rude.
Why is that? Why is having a water rude?
Because you got to have you turned down what they offered and took something they didn't want to offer. So having a water,
okay,
and probably made them feel bad about drink. Like that's what my wife does that all the time. Like we'll all be hanging out, and she'll be like, "Oh no, I don't want to do that now," and you'd be like, "Well, now that makes me feel bad for doing it, so I guess we won't be doing it anymore." You know what I mean? I'm trying to think of like a example, which I'm blanking on, but she does it. We'll be like, "Let's go out to eat." And she'll say, "Actually, I'll just make something at home." And we're like, "Well, fuck, man. I'm not going to go out to eat. Then
right.
It makes me look bad."
Oh, yeah.
So,
yeah, no, I'll just have something. I'll just make something here. Yeah, no, I want a treat, and now I feel bad about my treat that you're
nobody ever wants to just make something at home. It's ridiculous.
I'm also always should we just order suggester? That's always me. I'm like, should we just order some?
We don't even order. I live around all the good restaurants, so we just fucking walk out the door and go eat somewhere. It's made it extremely kind of hard to cook at home because it's like, I'm in an apartment now. I can't really grill. I was in an apartment before, but now I'm in a building. I can't grill. I can't put a grill on my balcony because I took the top floor. And so it just is like, what should I eat? And then I'm always like, oh, you know, if I eat at home, it's just going to be a fucking chicken breast. It's like, that's all I ever make at home.
Right.
And I should make better stuff, but I don't. And I just make something that fuels me.
See,
which is ideally how you want your diet to be, I think.
Right.
Like, I think the people who are like, I eat for fuel, those people are the right ones. I'm stupid because I'm like, I eat because I like to eat food, like all the taste of the foods.
Right. I mean, I'm kind of, I have a foot in both. I could eat, like, my wife gives me crap because if I find something I like, I could eat it every day. I'm like, yeah, let's eat that same thing every day. And she's like, what, how are you, you're insane. Like, you need to have some variety here.
I do at times find it kind of frustrating when, like, there's a day last week, there's a place called Polly G's by my house. It's a really good, like, brick oven pizza. And I really was craving it for some reason. Actually, before this started, while the videos were playing, I was looking at pizza because I think I'm going to suggest that for dinner tonight. And I really wanted it. I was so hungry for it earlier in the week. And then I was like, oh, we had pizza yesterday, so I guess we can't have it today. And it's like, who made that fucking rule? Or that rule seems to be like set in stone in this fucking house. And I don't know who wrote it.
Yeah.
Because I love eating the same shit. There was a period right before my wife told me she was pregnant. I was in like a super deep depression, and I ate the same dinner every night for probably 2 months. Like it was a spicy Italian sub from Subway, a Mountain Dew, and a bag of Doritos. And I'd take the Doritos and I'd stick them on the sub and eat it. And that's all I ate for, like, I'm telling you, an amount of time that you wouldn't even fucking believe. Like that. And now I'm like, I gotta have something different every day. Like, that's crazy.
No, especially for lunch, I'm like, this is the day where I get McDonald's. This is the day where I get pizza. Like, I have my, like, I just fall into these repeated schedules. Anyway, it's
awesome.
This is a movie podcast. So Bryan, when you go to the movies a pretty good deal. You like to see the like big blockbusters, right, in the theaters, or especially the superhero ones. Is that correct?
I don't like them.
I know you don't like them, but you like to go see them.
I like the Superman. I did like
Superman was great.
That's something I've been yelling at Jesse, like, back and forth with him. Like, how can you not like it? But because I thought he liked it, and we were texting, and he was like, yeah, I didn't really like it. And I'm like, damn, dude.
Yeah, I think he just is over superhero movies. That's the only thing that makes sense to not like it.
So I watched it. I liked that. I haven't liked any of the Marvel movies in a long time, but I feel like I have to see them. Right. And now I just discovered that the movie theater down the street from me, it's $6.50 a ticket on Tuesday. So I'm just going to fucking see everything now.
That's awesome.
And I got into... When I first quit my job at the cable company, when I first got injured at the cable company, I made a deal with myself. It's a weird deal, and it happened in early spring, and I made a deal with myself, and I said, I'm going to see every summer blockbuster this year. And I fucking did it. And then I did it another year because I didn't have to work. So I got up every day, twice a week, and saw all of them. And now I feel like that kind of weirdly colored my movie, because now I always just feel like I'm gonna go see. I'll go see all the big movies when I know that they're not good. Most of them aren't good. I mean, I've seen a lot of good stuff lately, but most of them are the like big time ones are shit.
Yeah, well, I mean, like, I think they've trained the audience, right? So that it's like, you go to the movies now for a specific type of movie. Like, it used to be, you would go to the movies, see a fucking Jim Carrey movie, see a romantic comedy, see a legal thriller or something. Like, there were all kinds of different types of movies in the theater. And then they also had big blockbusters. But now... And it's like COVID especially rewired people, I think, especially when they were putting stuff out on streaming. But now it's like the movies are for going to see the big new franchise thing. And yeah, I agree. This year, I mean, did you see the new Jurassic Park movie?
That's the one because my wife wouldn't go. She said, I heard it's really bad.
She's right.
I don't know. She listened to a podcast.
She talked
about it.
It made me so mad. It's like the most mad a movie's made me this year. And I saw War of the Worlds with Ice Cube. Did you see that?
Yeah, I think she. No, I haven't watched that.
Oh, you gotta watch that.
I think I find it so hard to watch movies and like to find time to watch them at home.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like I never do it.
I mean, I said mostly, right, but I don't identify. I watch so many movies at home. That's like, see, I do that instead of TV now. I'm off of, I don't even care about TV. I'm like, what's a movie I could watch instead?
I'm on TV because it feels easier to digest for me because it's shorter. But I also like the long form storytelling of TV. I really like it. I don't know if it's always good,
right?
But I get something out of this really long thing. I love going to the movies, and every time I see something good, then I'm like, oh man, I got to watch more movies. But most of the time, I'm watching like TV.
Have you seen Weapons yet?
I did, yeah. Well, I loved it. Yeah, we both loved it, actually.
Yeah, me too. We don't have to get into spoilers talk of that, but yeah, that was a recent one that I really, really loved.
We went to a packed theater to see it, and it was really fun. It was actually a really fun movie to go see.
Yeah.
I liked Barbarian a lot, too.
Yes.
Like, I think I like his movies quite a bit because they don't feel like, I don't know. I don't love horror movies very much, and now I did as a kid, but like I came up when slashers were like the big time movies, and they always had like a sense of humor, and they were kind of fun.
And now horror is all about trauma now. It's all trauma.
Yeah, there comes a time where they're like, this movie's going to be about our collective grief and trauma. It's a psychological movie about, and it's like taken very seriously, and I'm just kind of like, I don't want to watch that. That's why Weapons and Barbarian were so good, because they made me feel like I did when I was younger, where I was like, it's kind of freaky, but it's also funny, you know. And the ending of that movie was great.
So good. I mean, the criticism, I've been seeing a lot of it, and I understand how if you went in wanting this type of thing, it would be disappointing, but the criticism I've been seeing a lot is that it explains too much in its second half. It like outlines all of what's going on, and like I like a horror that's a little unexplained and leaves you kind of unsettled because you don't quite understand it, but I don't think that needs to be every movie. And yeah, like sort of it felt so in line with Barbarian, where it seemed like, to me, I texted my friend after that we both loved Barbarian, and then he was crazy, but he saw Weapons first, and he was so excited for me to see it. And I texted him, I'm like, Barbarian was him clearing his throat. This is like him making the movie that like he can make now. So yeah, I'm really excited to see what Zach Kreger puts out after this. I'm like on board for whatever. And also just sketch comedians becoming good horror directors. He's now like, there's also of course Jordan Peele. And I guess the guy from Nirvana, the band, the show, did not direct a horror movie. He directed Blackberry, and now he's directing another one. But
anyway, was a good movie. I like Blackberry.
I liked Blackberry too. Earlier this week, I heard Stefan call it weird and implied it was not good, and I was like, I don't know. I thought it was pretty good. Anyway,
I mean, Stefan's weird.
That we can't argue with at all. Stefan also, I shout out Stefan again. Everybody else that helped me with my stream last Sunday. The Balloon Boy radio play Flight of the Falcon. It's on my YouTube, everybody, so follow me on YouTube up here and go check that out. So what was the last movie you watched? Was it Godzilla vs. Biollante?
Yeah. And I mean, it was after I saw Weapons on Tuesday and watched this on Thursday.
Okay. Yeah, cool. So Weapons would have been then the one you saw before that. Okay.
Yes.
And you don't make a lot of time to watch the movies at home. I mean, you're also very busy, Brian. You have 2 podcasts. You got a lot going on. So I mean, I get it.
I mean, I also like to watch stuff with my wife, and she kind of putters around and stuff like that, and we don't ever have time to like get into something unless we make an effort to sit down and do it. Last time we did it was Sinners. We watched that on HBO Max. But yeah, she's usually like doing some other shit, looking at her phone.
Right.
So like it takes a long time to get her to watch a movie at home, and I just don't. I do it by myself. Like there are definitely movies that I watch by myself that aren't for her, but a lot of stuff like Weapons or something like that, or Sinners, I know she wants to see it. She just isn't like ready to do it. She takes 8 hours to take a shower, and then by the time she's ready to like sit down and watch something, she's got to work the next day. So like, and we also like on a weekend we try to go do something. Like I don't like sitting around the house all. Obviously, I don't sit very often,
you need to be out walking around.
Yeah, I don't take a break during the day. There's no day where I will be just sitting. I used to when I was like in my 20s, I would, take Sunday and just make it a day we lay around and watch movies and smoke cigarettes all day. And then that's all gone now. I don't do it. I can't sit down. Like it's very hard for me to relax during the day. So we don't get to do it then either.
Yeah.
I do it every once in a while for wrestling. I will get up early and like do my activity, like, because tomorrow wrestling's on at 1 p.m. So I'm gonna get up early and I'm gonna do my shit, and then I'm gonna come home at 1 and watch it. You know,
and then you earn
That's the
some
only time
laying
I do
around.
it.
Yeah, I mean,
yeah, I won't even lay around. I have a desk in this room I'm in on wheels, and I pull it out and I sit in my chair and do Legos while it's on. Yeah, I just have hidden the Legos.
Brian, I'm glad you mentioned Legos, because I am also a fall, I have to say, and I've been actually making. I think you did this one as well. The Botanical Garden.
Oh yeah, it's a good one. That's a good one.
I'm having fun. I'm making it on stream, so I was doing that last night.
I don't have them anymore.
I know you got rid of all of them. Do you have new ones that you're going to get going on?
Right, or? I'm doing one right now, the paddle boat thing, the big river boat.
Oh, okay.
But it's taken me forever. I mean, I got it like over a month ago, and I'm probably not even halfway done with it yet.
Thanks for the follow, Red Jazz. Yeah, I actually have some more movie Lego sets here. Actually, this is one of my favorite things that I own is Sigourney Weaver minifig from an Avatar set.
I have the Dune one over there.
Oh
too.
yeah,
the
Ornithopter.
There's the Dune Ornithopter, but those are the only two I have in the house. I gave all of them away. I gave every set except for the Dune one away, and I'm giving this one away too. I built the Simpsons one and gave it to my niece.
So this is also from that same Avatar set, and I do another one of. Oh, hey, Red Jazz, thanks for watching from France. This is also one of my favorite things I own. Michelle Rodriguez minifig as well. That was a part of this Avatar set. So I just like having different like. Strange actors. I haven't done it yet, but the one I'm gonna be doing on stream probably for the rest of the year when I finish this is the Home Alone house.
I did that.
You did that one?
It's gone. Yeah, I know. Like I said, every one of them are gone.
It's going to be the biggest one I've done, but I'm very excited to have a Catherine O'Hara minifig as well. It's
also a good set. That's a good set. It's a fun one.
Yeah, I'm excited to make all the traps and stuff. Oh wow, you built it a second time. See, I haven't done that.
Yeah, I built it and then I took it apart, and then the next year for Christmas I built it again, and then I took it apart and gave it away. Like I said, everything's gone. Like I gave every set away, and I'm gonna sell this one as soon as it's done. Like I'm gonna finish it, take it to the store, sell it for whatever they'll give me, and then do the next thing. I don't want a bunch of Legos in the house anymore. I got a little out of hand in my old apartment. And this place is a little smaller too.
A good half of mine are at my work, in my cubicle. There's a lot of space for them, and it's a great place to put them away. That's where I have my another one that I know you had and sold, because I always used to see it behind you, the Bowser. I loved the Bowser.
Yeah, that was a good one.
Yeah, and I have
I
have a Yoda that I did as well.
I liked most of them. I just didn't like the Titanic.
Yeah.
And a couple other sets. I had fun building them. I just didn't want them in. I wanted, when I moved here, I wanted a clean look behind me, and I wanted to get rid of all the junk that was behind me in my other place.
my nephew
I got rid of it all.
is 6, and I actually personally got him into Lego. Like one time was watching him or something. I'm like, okay, I'm bringing in a couple of like young kids like sets to make trucks or whatever, and we're gonna make and now he's like really hooked on Lego, and my sister hates it because then there's like pieces everywhere, and he has younger like toddler. Younger siblings that she's always worried about, but he keeps saying to both of his parents that he wants to do the one that he really wants, because somewhere he saw the Titanic Lego and now he wants it, and I'm like, don't get the whatever you do, don't get it.
It's not good.
It's huge, and yeah, it's one of those ones that does just seem really repetitive and bad to
It's
do.
expensive and repetitive. It's not really fun to build.
Yeah, some of the like most famous ones are the ones that I didn't really enjoy making. Like the Seinfeld set is like a really boring. I like the minifigs with it, but it was such a boring thing to make. It was one of my least favorite sets that I've done.
The soccer arenas are really cruddy too. I did one of those.
Now, one that
I
liked a good deal, and I still have, that was repetitive, but I liked it, was the Taj Mahal, because it was like so perfectly repetitive and symmetrical on every side that it was like meditative doing it. Anyway,
I did that one. Yeah.
That's enough Legos. I could seriously talk Legos forever, but they did just announce earlier this week a Willy Wonka set that looks really good and is gonna get a cool 200 some out of me. I also have
to look at that.
The movie sets get so good. Like those are some of my favorite ones. There was I don't even like the whole set of it, but it was Jurassic Park, the T-Rex attacking the vans or whatever, and it was like, I haven't done the like mural part of it because that part was so boring. Like I just made the T-Rex and I made the van, and I have just both of those individually at my job, and I just like, sometimes I love that T-Rex. I want them to do like a big one like that.
Yeah, they're doing a big Godzilla, which is kind of the same thing, I think. How
relevant to our discussion today. No, I'm excited for them to actually do a Godzilla set. That's going to be real good. So you're into the big franchise. Now, actually, that's a good segue. Did you see, have you seen Godzilla movies in the theaters? Did you see Godzilla -1?
Yes. I loved it. It's one of my favorite movies ever. So
yeah. Okay, good.
I saw that one in the theater. Yeah, I've seen Shin Godzilla too.
Right. Okay. Now, have you seen any of the like classic older ones at all?
Nope. I think I had in my mind that they look bad. And actually watching this one made me think like maybe I'll go back and watch some of them.
Yeah, so I actually went crazy this week in terms of just watching a bunch of Godzilla movies and kaiju movies in general. I also watched, you mentioned Shin Godzilla, I watched Shin Ultraman, which is, I love that one a lot. And Ultraman is another, big kaiju franchise. I also watched Shin Kamen Rider, which is not a kaiju film. That's a tokusatsu film. Sorry if I mispronounced that. Which means superhero. Shin Ultraman's kind of both of them. But the big thing with kaiju films is it's a big monster, right? They're the big monsters.
Yeah. Yeah, I've seen part of Shin Ultraman. I think I fell asleep because I started watching it pretty late.
It's a weird one.
I should go back
because it's not. Some people, it's got divisive looking special effects because they don't try to make it look real. They actually kind of try to make it look like the 70s TV show almost in how some of the effects work. But I like that. I like that they just are kind of lo-fi about it, and like it still looks really cool to me. But
yeah, I don't mind that. I don't mind. I don't think I thought these looked as good as they do, but they do look very good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I think the one that we chose to watch is a really, really cool one for the look of it. I think it was a big sort of swing away from like sort of typical looks, especially for Biollante and stuff. And it's really loved in the Godzilla fandom, which I should say, Brian, because I don't normally do this, but because you were on today, I did look at r/Godzilla.
I look at it all the time.
Really?
I considered doing it. Yeah.
Godzilla, guys?
I haven't gotten around to it. Yeah, I just haven't gotten around to
it. This is one of the threads that I found I really liked. Why is kaiju eating people shied away from in Godzilla movies? other kaiju series like Gamera show many monsters eat people. It really stuck out to me in -1's Odo Island scene where Godzillasaurus puts people in his mouth but doesn't eat them. And so everybody's in the comments saying, Toho forbids it. They didn't like the shot of Godzilla smirking after he hit Kong in 2021 with his heat ray either. And then there's a whole thread of people being like, yo, this is reported on Toho was their only problem when they watched Godzilla vs. Kong was the moment where Godzilla had a smirk. They didn't like it or whatever. And like this whole long
Godzilla
discussion.
looks like he has a smirk in all these movies.
I know.
To me.
I know. But yeah, so the answer is that a bunch of people in this thread saying that it's a Toho restriction because they want him to feel like a force of nature and not like an animal that would just eat people.
He's not hungry. Yeah,
exactly. He doesn't need to feed.
Why does he have to eat people?
He feeds on nuclear energy, right? He doesn't feed on people. Yes. Godzilla should be cheeky. I agree. he should wink.
I like when he does that. I like when he like kind of looks like, oh, that was fun. You know.
Yeah. I know. He's like
good Godzilla.
Yeah, I feel like Godzilla needs to run, he just needs to look like he's running shit at all times. And so I think that's part of it, is projecting that confidence. So yeah, I don't think that him having a bit of personality is necessarily totally against Godzilla in the same way.
I mean, I get because a lot of I think there's a difference between like the Japanese ones and the American ones, and that like the Japanese ones are generally about like bureaucracy and stuff like that, where the American ones are just like big monsters fighting each other. It's like it feels like a totally different type of movie. Which is why
the American ones especially, I think, suffer in the human storylines. Like, they're never anybody's favorite part of a Godzilla, including the Japanese ones. I mean, like, there's some that have great... I think like Godzilla -1 is a great example of like probably like the best human story along with Godzilla's story, because they just created a really clear good thing.
Right, Godzilla -1 was fucking crazy good.
Right,
and like the human stuff was really like the human stuff really hit me hard. Like I don't think I haven't seen a movie in a long time where I like got emotional, and I got emotional at the end of that movie. Mm-hmm. My wife was like so surprised when we left. I was just like, that's one of the most beautiful things I've ever seen in my life. Like I couldn't fucking believe it. And like it really did make me reassess what the American ones are, because like I don't think we're ever gonna get an American one that like grapples with stuff like like that's a movie about fucking trauma, but it's good. And it's not like pounded into your head, and it's about a guy overcoming fear, like a guy that is a coward, right? Though to be fair, he was a coward to not kill himself for a doomed ideology, which I would argue is a pretty smart way to be a coward. Don't be a kamikaze pilot for a losing side that's clearly losing too. By the time that he's like, I don't want to go on my kamikaze flight. No, thank you. Right. Hey, he's smart. I thought he was smart at the beginning, but I do think that like the idea that he was this guy that was like afraid to die for nothing, and then in the end was like, I'll do it because it means something here. Right. And he found that courage. That fucking hit me really hard. I don't know why. I'm never going to be in a situation like that. Well, but it just was like, it just was like, oh my God, this is like meaningful to me in a way that all these other movies that are dealing with people's past traumas and stuff like that they don't do it because they don't show it. You know what I mean? Like they don't show it in some Marvel movie where it's like, or they spend 15 minutes saying like, this person had a rough childhood, right? And then they move on to like guys fighting, and then at the end they're like, well, he won the fight, so the trauma's over. Right? Yeah. I felt that big time. With some people really liked it in Thunderbolts, and I thought it was just okay. Even though I actually liked. I thought that movie was fucking terrible. I thought it was like all right. I didn't think it was anything great. Yeah, I liked Florence Pugh, and I liked Bill Pullman's son's performances. And which is what I'm going to call him. I'm not going to call him by his actual name. I'm going to call him Bill Pullman. Yeah, son. I get it. I mean, I know that people liked it because it felt like one of the old movies, but I did not like it because of... Well, the ending I thought sucked in that movie. I thought the final fight in that movie fucking sucked. Yeah, it was pretty lame. And I was the same way with Fantastic Four, where it's like
I haven't seen that yet, but feel free to spoil it. I don't care.
I guess the fight didn't suck, but the fucking plot sucked. Like, it was fucking stupid. Like,
I was thinking about seeing Fantastic Four in its opening. I had taken off that week from work, and that was when the middle of the week we went and saw Superman, and just like loved it. Like, I went because like sort of like the same thing like you, like obligation a bit, and I don't go see every superhero movie, but this had gotten enough response and reaction that I was like, well, I should go see it. I should go see it because people seem to really like it, and I want to see what that's about. And I have been divided on James Gunn's recent stuff. I mean, obviously I loved like the first Guardians, but I was not a his Suicide Squad fan. I did not care for that one, and I was not sure how I felt about him taking over DC. But yeah, I went in as kind of a skeptic, and man, I was not even like halfway through the movie, and I was like, oh, I'm loving this. Fuck. They still make these.
Yeah, I like
Peacemaker. They can still make these good.
Yeah, I like Peacemaker a lot. So.
I haven't, and now I'm going to give that a chance because I haven't, even though that was another one I heard people repeatedly shouting out is good, but because it was from that Suicide Squad, like that's where the character originated, which I don't know. I didn't care for that as much.
They kind of retcon so much stuff in that show because, I mean, there's a lot of stuff that they just replace.
Well,
because it's like,
he
did this.
He gets to be one of the few that gets to carry over, that gets to continue on into the new universe. Yeah. Actually, another superhero movie that I was surprised how much I liked, and actually reminded me a bit of Shin Kamen Rider and things like it, was Blue Beetle. Did you see Blue Beetle by chance?
Yeah, I thought it was okay. I mean, it felt dead. It felt like, oh, we're just watching the last remnants of a thing that's over.
It came out in that context, like where that was very much the mood of what's happening with DC. That character is going to continue, though. They've said that he's one of the ones that, and that actor is going to eventually come. Well, at least so they said. Not The Rock. The Rock is fucked. The Rock is out as Black Adam, which was so funny. Oh my god, I went and saw Black Adam because I had hours to kill at one day, and I needed to fill 3 or 4 hours, and so I spent some of it in the movie theater seeing Black Adam, and it was the most nothing of a movie ever, and it was so funny how and I know that, The Rock, you must have very strong feelings as The Rock, as an actor and as a figure, a pop culture kind of figure. But he was all in on the entire DC universe is going to be remade around my stupid character nobody cares about. That blew up in his face.
I mean, that's him in wrestling too. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like he gets involved with stuff and then disappears. And then people are like, well, you fucking started a bunch of stuff and then left.
Right.
Like, and then they have to deal with it. And I think he's at a point now where, like, I think that movie, The Smashing Machine, I think it'll be pretty good. And it has to be good because I think people are tired of him. Really. Everywhere. I think all people are tired of him.
Yeah.
Not just wrestling guys, you know?
I don't know. I'm not making any actual accusation here or something, but sometimes when I look, and especially like when I was seeing that Smashing Machine trailer and him trying to now make the like serious actor turn and stuff, and just as many like he wants to be the biggest star always. It's giving me a little bit of when I watch the O.J. Simpson documentary miniseries, and it's like the first part where he's really trying to be a serious actor, and he's trying to be on a TV commentator, and he can't quite do it. Sometimes I feel about The Rock. But I am curious about the Smashing Machine.
I like the Safdies.
Right.
Yeah, I like the Safdie brothers, so I'm definitely curious. I just don't.
I mean,
I don't know. I think people are just sick of him. He might need to like just maybe, if this works out, then great. But he might have to just go away for a while because I really don't think. That's why I think he went back to wrestling for a bit because he's just like, I don't know what to do. I don't think he knows what to do.
I mean, I think he could keep, if he had just been happy just continuing in the making like Jumanji type movies forever. Like if he could have been happy there, I think that would have been fine. But it's like he always wants to kind of take another step or something that I don't know if he
wants to take over something. Right. He wants to take something over too. It's like I'm sorry, dude, but the Fast and Furious was good before you, I guess, and like
And there were
him coming in,
and there are
made
good
it.
movies with him in it, but yeah, when he started to be like, I need to be in these movies more, and blah 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 blah, that's when you can tell, and that's when you can tell.
Yeah, Fast Five is good, but then when you go past that, it's kind of like, all right,
I
the
like
charm's gone.
Fast 7 because that's the one where they sideline him for like the whole movie, and he busts out of the cast at the end by just flexing, and I like that.
Yeah.
And he's like not really in it that much, and I like that's a good amount of The Rock for me, is like just sprinkle him in the beginning and end, and more of it's Jason Statham or whatever. I like that more.
Yeah, I mean Jason Statham's more fun to watch too.
Absolutely. And well, yeah, and but then Hobbs and Shaw was a mess. Was bad. We need
I
Southland
like that,
Tales
yeah.
too. Absolutely. Have you seen Southland Tales, Brian? That's a favorite.
I have
in this
not. I
household.
have heard of it.
You should check out Southland Tales at some point, because that is the first time that, like, literally the first time that The Rock is really trying to do serious acting, and it's the director who, this was the movie he made after Donnie Darko. Did you see Donnie Darko? I mean,
I did. I did not like it.
same. Of course you did, but in the early 2000s, everybody had to have seen and have an opinion on Donnie Darko. At least that's how it felt for me. And
Yeah, that's why I saw it, and I did not like it.
so Southland Tales, every big star kind of wants to be in, and it's got like a crazy cast. And The Rock plays a character who is an actor and screenwriter named Boxer Santaros, and he has a character tick where he always does this gesture when he's like nervous or thinking. So
Okay. Hey.
that's just one element of this movie. It's one of the craziest movies ever made.
Yeah, I know it's very weird. That's probably why I haven't watched it. The Donnie Darko connection, and sometimes it's just some shit that's weird. I have to be in a mood for something like that.
Well, and you should know that I at least in my opinion, it is a fully bad movie. There are people that try to speak up for the movie and be like, it's actually really prescient, and it's a bunch of like, it's so predicted our reality. I don't know what these people are smoking, because to me it just seems like 2000s era, like anti-Bush liberalism kind of in it, which is like, there was so much of that shit at the time. Like it just feels like what the Daily Show was then or something. Like,
right.
It doesn't feel
which
that
I was
crazy
a fan
to me.
of then.
Yes.
Which I liked the Daily Show back then.
Oh yeah, back then. Although there are some clips that do not hold up that you watch. You're like, oh Jesus, Jon Stewart said that. Anyway.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it's all good. But Southland Tales is not good. Don't let people tell you it's good. It is hilariously bad.
It's preferable to having all of our political comics be Kill Tony guys.
That's true.
I would say I'd prefer Jon Stewart being milquetoast,
right,
than Joe Rogan or like Kill Tony guys.
Yeah,
they're all the worst men on the planet.
Absolutely. I will shout out that I saw you shared it earlier this week. A bunch of people did that Elephant Graveyard YouTube video. Everybody should go watch it. Their latest one about the Rogan sphere and all of that. Yeah. I mean, that's okay to think it's good. I mean, there are, like, again, there's so many cool actors in it and crazy sequences that, like, on their own are pretty cool. But for my money, anytime you just, like, take a step back and think about what you're watching or, like, what's actually happening and what's being said, it's all bad to me.
Yeah.
But I don't, people that like it, I mean, that's all for it, but I just never understand that. So yeah, is there anything coming up that you're looking forward to seeing, either in the theaters or like movies you've been meaning to get around to seeing that you'd like to?
I want to watch Nobody 2. I think we're gonna do that on Tuesday. But no, I basically don't know what's coming. I just check at the end of every week. I see what movies are coming out, and then I decide if I'm going to go to the movies or if I'm not going to go to the movies.
Thank you for the follow, Alton Darwin. I don't like. I like have gone. I'm going to the movie theaters less than I used to. Certainly before the pandemic. I'm going a few times a year. I went to see Sinners. I went to see Weapons, and Superman. I think those were the three that I've seen, unless I'm forgetting another one. And, you know, those are all good, but I am also fine waiting until it hits the Plex servers, which, of course, on this stream, I should say, when I talk about seeing it on Plex, I'm talking about going to the local multiplex in my neighborhood. That's what I mean when I say that.
I like seeing stuff in the theater. I like seeing big movies in the theater. I think it's cool, and it's something to go do.
Yeah.
You know? Like, I hate sitting around the house. Like I said, I don't like
This is where we really differ, because
stationary.
I love sitting around the house. I mean, at least now. I should have the life change that you that where it's like I need to just go out. I have and I have been doing it more. There's an awesome like little lake right by my apartment that's like a great like 40-minute walk around that I should just go do. I've been doing it a little bit more, but I need to do it with like actual regularity, because I always when I'm done I'm like, that felt great, but I never want to. I could always watch a movie or something in that time, or
I
stream.
get obsessive. I actually get obsessive over stuff. That's what got me doing it. Like, I start doing something, I'm like, I could do that every day. I could do more. Like, that's kind of how my mind works when it comes to like whatever big walks or flights of stairs I do. I'm always like, I could probably get more out of it, and I'm never really satisfied with it. It's a compulsion more than anything.
See, now that's interesting, because I feel like that resonates with me, because that's how I feel for like exploring like cinema, kind of, at least in the past few years, where I'm like, you know, I haven't watched enough like German cinema. I need to watch some more German or Italian cinema or something, or this is a Japanese director I haven't seen much. Japan's my favorite. This is like another reason why I'm excited to talk about Godzilla. Is Japanese cinema is my favorite foreign cinema, and it's like it's such an important figure. Godzilla is to the history of film in Japan. So that's sort of where I'm at with like, I want to like, I've gotten obsessive of wanting to, you know, fill in my gaps, find all the little nooks and crannies of the history of film or whatever. And I do it sitting in my apartment.
I get it. I used to do it. Like I said, I used to do it too. I just somehow got.
No, it's more healthy.
Idea.
To be the active one, the one of walking around and doing your steps.
I don't even know if it's healthy. I think it's crazy, but
it's healthier than not doing it. It's healthier than
yeah. I guess it's better than not doing it. Is about the best I can give it, because it is incredibly weird.
Yeah,
and it's never satisfying. So it's kind of like drugs. Except for drugs are satisfying.
That's right.
A lot of times.
I find that drugs are pretty satisfying, typically. All right, let's get more into Godzilla versus Biollante. So this is an interesting, something I'm excited to talk about with this movie is that this is a very much, like, ongoing franchise we want to keep alive, but in the late 80s sort of mold of that, as opposed to now, of sort of what that means. And so this is the second. So Godzilla is divided into eras. The first is the Showa era. That's through the mid 1970s, from the beginning to the mid 1970s, and then the Heisei era starts with the Return of Godzilla, 1984, and then. That movie kind of disappointed. It didn't do great. People weren't so in love with it. So it took several years to get the next one together. And that's when Godzilla vs. Biollante, and that was really the first one that hit. At least like in Japan and internationally, it revived some interest in Godzilla. And it also was a major redesign of the character itself. That hadn't happened as much for Return to Godzilla. They totally looked like rebooted basically the look of Godzilla itself in this movie as well.
He looks evil.
Yes. Yeah.
But he also has a smile. Like you said, he has a smirk.
He's got the bit of a smirk. No, but and so one of the movies I watched this week was I watched Godzilla versus Mechagodzilla, which is the second to last Showa film. They made one more after that, and that is very much silly. It's like it gets so silly so quick in those ones. Like I mean, some of them are like legitimately kids movies. Like they are like actually. Like there's Manila, which is Godzilla's child. That's a little mini Godzilla that looks so stupid. It's really funny, and those get pretty silly. And then Godzilla versus Mechagodzilla, like it does look smiley, like the Godzilla. Like he looks almost cute in some ways. With his like expression on his face, and yeah, here they did want to make him much more intimidating and like actually scary, kind of.
Yeah, he looks like a monster in this one. It's weird too because like if you're not super like me, if you're not super familiar with it, like I think I always thought Godzilla was the good guy in a lot of these versus movies, but it seems like he's not really in this one. I mean, the guy I really like is the one from what is the name of the Middle Eastern country that they're pretending?
Sarabia.
The long-haired cool guy with gloves on.
Oh yes, he's the follow alert saying, "Damn, it's Godzilla." I love that guy. He is such a baddie, like the whole time.
He looks so fucking cool. Like he's got the gloves on, like in the 80s and early 90s. Wear those gloves.
Yeah.
For no reason, they were just like the coolest thing you could wear. And now, you know what? Since then, we haven't had a hype beast type of glove in a very long time.
Might
be time to bring that shit back.
Not to bring it back to OJ, but he may have ruined gloves as a fashion accessory now. Everybody thinks you're gonna murder.
Those are fancy gloves.
The isotoners.
Those are fancy gloves. These are cool guy gloves.
That's right.
For cool guys to wear. I had a friend that had them, and he would walk around in them, and he would swing his arms so wildly when he walked so people could see the glove. And I was like, man, I wish I had those gloves myself.
Oh man, no. See, fingerless gloves are kind of cool to me. That's kind of a cool
that's what he's
look.
wearing, right?
Oh, okay.
It's like black fingerless gloves with the little holes on the knuckles.
Yeah,
those are the cool ones. Maybe put some studs on them, but other than that, those were so cool when I was a kid.
For sure. I mean, speaking of that guy and a lot of the criminals, something I love in this movie is now you watched I'm assuming the subs, right? You did, because I couldn't even find a dub for this.
I don't watch dubs. Yeah, I can't stand dubs. I watched it on HBO Max.
Yeah, the HBO Max just has the subs, and it's it has one of directing of English speaking acting of somebody, a director that clearly doesn't speak English and doesn't know when things don't sound right or don't make sense or like whatever. And there's a lot of that. There's like the scene where the one evil guy is talking to like the Sarabian leader or whatever in their office, and there's no subtitles because they're speaking English, but you have no idea what they're saying for like a lot of the scene. You're like straining, like, what? I'm trying to make it together. It just makes me think though of like all the American movies where there's all of a sudden the lead is speaking like Chinese or another language, and how bad that probably sounds in reality to a native speaker. It's probably the same thing.
Probably true. Yeah, I thought the English stuff was really funny.
Yeah,
and it was fun to. I mean, those guys were all so cartoonishly evil.
Yeah, well, that was another fun thing. Is like there's so much happening in this movie. I mean, let's back up. Abia, the cat wants to be let out. Sorry, I'm talking to my wife outside. Godzilla. So you mentioned about how like American interpretations of Godzilla tend to not like really get him in the same way, and I think that a lot of that is because what the original genesis of Godzilla was based on, 1954 was the first movie, and that would be 9 years after the bombing at Hiroshima and Nagasaki. So both the fear of like nuclear and also they continually were testing hydrogen bombs and nuclear weaponry out in the Pacific as well, which was another big thing that Japanese people were like, that makes me nervous. Can we not do that so close to our country? So like both of those were very much like in the zeitgeist what they were thinking of when they made Godzilla, which another thing you mentioned, always deal with the bureaucracy, the management of people, and evacuations of people, making sure that they're like safe. Like that's all part of it. And so to me, Godzilla is about like the force of like now that it's been unleashed of this nuclear, whatever power and that we can't even fathom that's out there. That's like just a force on its own now. And it's also about the surviving through that. And so like everything kind of ties into that. Like, why doesn't he eat? Yeah, he feeds on the nuclear power. And sort of like what you're saying, sometimes he's a good guy, is I feel like what he becomes, and especially in these series as they go on, is he's neither good nor bad. Sometimes they can use him towards their ends. There's a worse kaiju that comes around that they need him to fight off. But also can still, like, he can turn and he's destroying a building or whatever. That happens at any time. So anyway, long wind up to say, we get to Godzilla versus Biollante, and now what are people thinking about in the late 80s? They're thinking about bioengineering and stuff like that, and genetic like manipulation or sort of that sort of thing. And so that's kind of where this idea comes from, of Biollante. Although I will say, and I'm wondering if you'll guess this, there is one movie that really influenced the look of the monster Biollante specifically. That was an American movie that had come out shortly before this. Can you guess what it is?
No, I have no clue what it would be. Little Shop of Horrors?
That's it. That is it.
I got it.
Which was a big hit in Japan. I mean, all over, but in Japan as well. So, and you can see it. I mean, like, I remember like laughing, thinking that, watching the movie, like, oh, it's kind of like Little Shop of Horrors, and then reading the Wikipedia where they're like, yeah, it was Little Shop of Horrors. It was like kind of.
I mean, so much of Japanese culture and that, and especially as years have gone on, because I watch Japanese wrestling, which they started out by being a thing where they bring an American over, Gaijin, and a Japanese hero would defeat him every time. Like, it's changed now, like,
right,
because I don't think there's that antagonism, but it's the same thing with these Godzilla movies. It's like, it's them getting their strength back,
right,
after what they see as a defeat.
Yeah.
And I always find that part of their culture very interesting to
right
me.
There's always like
hopefully we grapple with that at some point.
Or we just ride this thing all the way down.
Or we just pretend we've never lost.
Yes.
That's the other way to do things.
What if we just change all the museums that we've always won? It's... Yeah, sorry, I forgot what I was going to say, but... Godzilla is like there's always devastation that he inflicts early on in the movie, that he flattens a city, or he resurfaces and it's a big panic. And yeah, either they, find a bigger threat that they need him to go against, or they find a way to at least subdue and make him go away. Like, that's typically, they don't like kill Godzilla. Like, I just watched the first Godzilla last night, and it's about chasing him off so that he goes back out to sea. Like, he doesn't ever like die.
I mean, the idea of an American Godzilla movie doesn't even allow for like the world build. Like, they built a bureaucracy in this movie. Like, the little computer screen would come up and it would tell you like, category
or
1,
stage 1. Yeah, right.
Yeah. Like, they were like talking about how this works practically within the system that they have in Japan. And that is not, I think the most we get in the United States is there's a podcaster that talks about Godzilla. It's never about like how we've decided to deal with Godzilla. That's never the story over here. And I think it's because they think we're too stupid.
Yeah, or
we would say, oh, I don't care about all the human stuff. But I think that's like short-sighted thinking, because I do think like people would be interested in what actual concrete steps the United States government would take if Godzilla came here.
yeah,
You know?
making it real. I mean, I think that's something that Shin Godzilla does really well. I mean, that's what it's mostly concerned with is. It's all just people very tensely walking into different rooms to have another tense meeting. I mean, but I love that shit.
I love that movie. Yeah, I thought that movie was great.
Yeah, and it's very much right. It's about survival. It's about the people. So people hate the people storylines. Yeah, Congress would actually attach a $500 billion to Israel funding package to the Godzilla fighting bill, 100%.
Absolutely, yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
Part of me
it is weird though that those movies never even have 1 second of that in them.
Right.
It's all just an action movie.
Oh yeah,
where guys are running from Godzilla.
And I love the Godzilla, the Godzilla versus Kong movies. I do.
I like them all.
I have such a good time. I can't wait for the next one. But they are considerably dumber, and they are considerably, getting your toys together and mashing them in the bathtub or whatever is like how it feels a lot of the time.
And you would like to see. I don't know if I'm like indicative of how regular people are, but I know that I would like to see more of, I don't know, the fucking president or some people working for the president being like, God damn, there's a Godzilla here. We got to do something about this. What can we do?
Okay.
Instead, it's just like, well, just let him fight King Kong in the middle of a city.
Well, hear me out here then. How about this? How about Godzilla's attacking, but it's all being monitored by some sort of like DHS or NSA figure in an office somewhere, and he's watching it all on his desktop screen while he's in Teams meetings with people, and Godzilla's attacking? Does that sound good?
Now, see, I know what you're talking about, but there's a way to do something between those two things.
I agree.
You know
I agree. No, I totally agree. I mean, I think that, but at the same time is, you're making the movie for the culture that it's going to. And as a culture, we don't value that. Like, as a culture, we're told that government's always bad, bureaucracy's always bad, government can't do good, so what do we get? We get the renegade, like, groups that are going out on their own that are, like, doing it, like, just whatever. And there's sometimes that's also happening in Godzilla movies, but there is also, a larger government body and a larger government structure and their own strategy that they're doing that you understand as well. That, is like, it's always just so, and it's, I think it's the same way in all the big franchises, in the MCU, and, Fast and the Furious and all of them, that government is, like, in terms of, like, as an organization, is just like this. We can do anything, whatever, wave it away. Mission Impossible movies, like that. The way that we present the government and bureaucracy in those big action movies is just like sort of a clandestine organization that can basically get away with anything.
We also only have one mode in America, and that mode is bureaucracy is always bad 100% of the time. There's no good reason for bureaucracy, and that's not actually true. Right. There are a lot of good reasons to sort of, I mean, it's like a double-edged sword, but there are a lot of good reasons to like spread the power out as much as you possibly can. Obviously, you want to be able to get things done, but you also don't want to, especially not, you don't want people unilaterally just deciding that they can do stuff. That's also very bad,
But what if the person deciding is one of the dumbest people to ever exist who still thinks it's 1988? Maybe.
I mean, what if the person deciding just hates everybody? Like, what if the person deciding does things to make people that he doesn't like mad?
That's the main
that makes
decision-making factor.
Like him happy.
Right. Totally. Yeah. Right. Well, and that's why, like, and there are lots of Japanese, because I've seen a million Japanese movies, and there are several that critique or satirize the like sort of bureaucracy culture of Japan as well, and talks about the downsides of that and how it's people, just push, like, it becomes about pushing responsibility to other people or whatever, like, and things like that, or covering up for the larger structure than for doing anything good. And that's all, well and good, but yeah, people don't want to really get into that story in America. They want to get to the big monster fight.
They want to fight. Yeah. They don't want to think about because it's also a thing where, like, okay, we can have that movie, but it has to be a political thriller and there can't be any monsters in it. You know what I mean? It's like an existential threat from like a nuclear bomb or some rogue nation or terror group that's causing. We can have that movie, but we cannot have that movie with a big giant monster in it. We can't have both things. They see it as two different things, and it's not. It can be a thing that's both. I don't think that like Godzilla -1 is like a big movie about bureaucracy and stuff like that, but they do still have to figure things out together and figure out how they're going to do this together as a team.
And there's the whole sequence where they're like, this is the strategy, this is how we're going to do it, and it's like everybody's like, they're selling everyone on it and stuff, and like that's one of the cool scenes of the movie that has no monsters in it, because it's like, these are the stakes. We have to actually try to do this thing.
Also, a decision that has been made over here is that, like, I don't think I need the story of where King Kong comes from. Like, I don't think I need the Hollow Earth stuff. And I find that to be some of the less interesting stuff in the movies, because I've said this before, like, I like to see action take place in places that I understand as places that exist. You know what I mean? I guess, like, I think I liked the first time, but I think they've now gone, like, it's all about the origin of King Kong and Godzilla, the Hollow Earth stuff, the stuff like that. Like, I'm not into that as much. I'm into monsters destroying cities and stuff. I like that. I like to see that going on.
Well, I also think that there's a part of it, like, I spent some time on the Godzilla Wikipedia today, going through like all the movies, like what are every single movie and stuff, and all the American ones as well. And it had a column on the wiki for like all the monsters that are in the movie besides Godzilla, like all the other monsters. And when it got to the last Godzilla versus Kong, there were like so many listed, and I was like, how is that even possible? And it was because they're just hanging out in Hollow Earth, and it's like to your point, like you can just Hollow Earth, anyone can be there, so bring a monster there, bring a monster there, and then there's no stakes. They're just like, this is the place where all the crazy monsters hang out. Whereas opposed to, we know people live in that city, like they're attacking Hong Kong or whatever, like, that's now there's stakes. Now there are people that could get hurt or whatever. There could be casualties.
Yeah. I mean, and that's the thing too, is like the reason the Hollow Earth exists is so King Kong can fight some big bug.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, to kill time in a movie. It's like, I don't know. I like the new ones. I sound like I hate them. I just like the Japanese ones better.
Oh, for sure. I mean, I think that it comes down to, I like to divide movie. I've talked about this on stream before, on a kind of a spectrum, though it's not really about quality necessarily, on one end or the other, like being better or worse. But I think that there are movies, and there are films, and there is cinema. And there are some things that do a bit of both, or two or three things, or whatever. In America, especially when we're making a monster movie, that's a movie. We're only making that a movie. We're not interested in trying to make it a film with cinema. It's a movie. And I think that Japanese see these as films. That this is a legitimate, like, Toho, the big studio behind, probably the biggest film studio in Japan, for decades, many decades. In addition to making all the Godzilla movies, they made most of Kurosawa's movies. They produced those during the run. I mean, they are kind of like the 20th Century Fox, or like the I don't know, what's another, Paramount, or like one of the big U.S. studios. Like, they are that in Japan. And I mean, really the biggest, big dog. And Ishiro Honda, who created these and stuff, like, they were really revolutionary. I mean, it's funny because they certainly took their inspiration from King Kong. Honestly, like that was one of the big, huge international hits of the 30s, and that became a huge cultural like moment. And there is elements of when making Godzilla of wanting to make their own sort of King Kong story. But I think in the ways that they sort of went about creating the character made it much more like authentically Japanese, and like even the original King Kong is about let's go to where King Kong's from, let's take him, let's bring him to America, and it is like always like kind of that origin story. Whereas I watched the first Godzilla last night, and it's like Godzilla shows up, and it's gotten big. Like there used to be like wives' tale of a kind of sea monster or something that people talked about, but now it's been, blown up because of nuclear testing in the ocean or whatever. And now there's just a big threat of Godzilla that they have to kind of try to figure out. And there's one guy that doesn't want to kill Godzilla because he's a nature guy and he doesn't think you should kill them. Anyway, but like, what blew me away about the first Godzilla when I watched it last night is that the first act of it feels so much like the first half of Jaws. Like it's the when the beach town is getting panicked in Jaws and stuff like that and running away and running around, and the people like Roy Scheider's investigating and stuff like that feels so much like the first act of Godzilla to me when I was watching it last night.
It does feel like in Japan with Toho, they're saying, let's make a good movie.
Mm-hmm.
And I no matter what, it's not like, let's make a good action movie. It seems like we're saying, let's just make a good movie. I don't think it's here, ever. I think it's, let's make an action movie that people will like. Doesn't have to necessarily be good. It just has to be something people will like. And so they made them action movies. I think these kaiju movies are something between an action movie and I don't know, like a procedural or something. It's hard for me to explain what I think it is.
Well, I mean, these are valued films. Like Godzilla -1 and Shin Godzilla both won Best Picture at the Japanese Academy Awards. So like in Japan, they are considered like great films.
Because they're great.
Yeah, they are, because they are. I mean, yes, because they are great. Something that's cool about how this movie was made. So if there's a film place that I could visit in the entire world, it would be Toho Studios, because that's just where they filmed all these. They filmed Mishima, Life in 4 Chapters, my favorite movie there. And this was largely filmed at what is called the Big Pool at Toho Studios. And it's like they have a big matte painting on the back of it that's like huge. It looks kind of like The Volume. You've seen clips of The Volume, right? But
I hate The Volume.
Yeah. But it's like a giant like waist deep pool where they film all the at sea Godzilla stuff, and they like set up these reflecting like lights to give it like a kind of a shimmer over it to make it look like the ocean. And just watching the making of and how they sort of did all of that is so cool. And also there's just like a lot of remote control like model boats that look like the size of ships, like when scaled with the giant Godzilla, that are then like exploding and shit. And it's like, God, that shit is so much more fun to look at and film. Like what we lost by doing this. I mean, it's safer, I'm sure, to do everything CG, but when shit is actually blowing up, like when Godzilla, when Biollante like sprays its like whatever spray in Godzilla's face, and they actually just had a hose in the actual creature actually spraying the shit, like that all is practical, and there's something really magic about that we just is completely gone now. I'm a huge fan of that. I mean, even in Japanese, I mean, like even the Godzilla -1, that wasn't going to be doing that as much.
No. Actually, there is a guy that I've seen all of his videos called Big Action Bill on YouTube, and he does video essays about every single Godzilla movie, and they're pretty thorough and really well done. I recommend it. I've seen every one of them. The Shin Godzilla one's 3 hours, 4 minutes. But like the other ones, they range from like 2 hours to like 35 minutes. And he knows a lot about how all this stuff happened and stuff, and I recommend it quite a bit. He also does videos about the Jets and like the New York Jets and stuff. But yeah,
Hey, I love that.
He does a great job.
Talk about what interests you. That's why I do this show here.
Yeah, he did great. I'm same why I do guys. Because guys interest me.
Exactly. They didn't think so. Biollante was like the biggest monster that they'd ever made for a Godzilla movie. They actually didn't even think that they would be able to get it to properly move. At least when it's like in its final evolved state, where it's like the huge mass or whatever. They broke a record, their own Toho record, for the most piano wires needed to operate the kaiju, and they had more than 20 people that were just like pulling on wires and shit to like when they were doing the big standoff with Godzilla and Biollante at the end.
Yeah, I like the. I thought the fight was pretty good.
Yeah.
Like I thought like the fight between the two. I did think it was over.
Right. It does seem like
I got my time.
We're already done with Biollante like halfway
myself.
through. We're like, are they done with the half of the movie that is Biollante now? But no, she comes back right at the end to be like, right, no, she's still here.
Yeah. It seems like they didn't want to use that puppet very much. They didn't want to use that suit as much as because it does then just turn into a Godzilla for a good amount of time.
Well, because it's like there's this
which
whole...
is what people want. And by the way, I'm all for giving people what they want.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Well,
like I love that. I watch wrestling. Like I am an idiot. Like I like somebody being like, you like this, you like this slop, you fucking idiot, and giving me what I wanted, you know?
Right. I mean, and it's interesting that you're talking about how like then the American making a big monster movie that you know, I think that they it's not that they like don't care whether it's a good movie or not. It's that that's very low on the priorities, and what good means is passable. What good means is also it can't be too weird. It can't be too out there in any one direction or another, because it has to be palatable, like to as much people as possible. So it's all very like broad. It's the same, well, that just happened kind of jokes or whatever, like because they're just blah. It's just like it's for everyone, yeah, or whatever.
I will say that I find it also just, we can't have movies with politics in them. Like they're afraid to make them.
Well, I saw Eddington recently, right before Weapons.
Doesn't fucking matter if they made them. But it feels like they're like. It feels like they're like, let's try not to like have even politicians in the movie, which would be the people telling us this shit is happening and what to do. And they're just like, they don't want people to be like, oh, is that guy supposed to be Trump? Like, they don't want anybody doing anything like that, because once they do that, then there's like a bunch of people that are mad, like when they changed the Cracker Barrel thing. Like all of a sudden now, oh, whatever. Since when is Godzilla political? And it's like, oh my fucking god, dude, everything is.
Yeah, somebody seeing Godzilla -1 and being mad. Why is it all about World War II now? And it's like, well, it kind of always was, sort of about, at least inspired by that.
That's what it is.
Right. So normally I do a segment on my stream now where I say, if you liked this, try this. I forgot to actually grab the movies, but I still have some recommendations. So this is, I'm not going to recommend any other Godzilla movies, because duh. If you like this, watch other Godzilla movies, right?
I'm going to watch some of the ones that came after this.
The Heisei era I'm getting into now, and they are great. I've seen Godzilla vs. King Ghidorah, I think might have been the one right after this. That one's crazy and good, and the Mothra one from this run is great. The Mothra ones are both, the Mothra movies are always great. The original Mothra is another really, really good and weird one. But I will say, I want to shout out some other just like big Japanese entertainment that's like the big sort of popcorn fun Japanese movies. So if you like Godzilla vs. Biollante, I mentioned it earlier, try Shin Ultraman, another big kaiju movie that is crazy and fun and has a really great cast as well of great actors. Also, I want to shout out the Lady Snowblood and Lady Snowblood 2. Very, very fun, hyper violent, big sprays of blood, some, naked ladies and stuff as well in that. Really, really fun Lady Snowblood movies. I also, of course, you can't talk great, entertaining Japanese serial films without talking about Lone Wolf and Cub. Watch some Lone Wolf and Cub. Man, those are entertaining. Also have some, good like nudity and all sorts of fun stuff for like if you're like a 13-year-old boy in your head. That's great. It's all in there. And then the last movie I'm going to shout out is, of course, I love Seven Samurai. And that's the movie that I say everybody should see. But if you don't want to spend 3.5 hours watching Seven Samurai, you could also watch 3 Outlaw Samurai, which is 90 minutes. And it's a very similar premise, in fact. It's just, instead of 7, it's 3. Outlaw Samurai helping some people. So that's a sort of similar setup. And so that's what I'm giving you this week. I don't have the movies with me this time, but if you like Godzilla vs. Biollante, try those. So there you go. that's my segment.
Nice.
Yeah. And I'm trying to think if there's anything else that I wanted to get to here with. I mean, there's a lot with this movie. We didn't even talk about the psychic children. We didn't even talk about how there's psychic children in this movie. I mean,
I like that you have a finite amount of psychic before you die. Like, I thought that was great.
Yeah. And I like that. I forget the exact name of the institute, but it did say like extrasensory like exploitation institute. Like it actually used the word exploitation in the name of the thing. It's like we're exploiting children in the name of our organization, which I really loved.
It was pretty cool. Yeah. I thought the psychic, and I didn't do it too much. It was just like the smallest amount.
Well, and I will say that character is in the rest of the movies in this run. So like that becomes a running thing of this woman that can sort of psychically communicate with Godzilla. And so you can see how that becomes a bit of a plot device going forward.
She didn't say much, but I guess she didn't have much of an effect on this one, but
yeah, no, it's more like planting the seed with that. But I do think that it really does a good job of pacing out the monster versus human stuff. Like it goes back and forth pretty well. There are some where you have to wait a long time to get back to some more monster stuff, But I mean, it also, there's the corporate espionage whole aspect with these guys coming into, and then there's the psychic warfare, and then there's biological warfare with the spores or whatever, and Biollante kind of gets burned up and like goes away, and then the coolest thing I think is when the one psychic girl is drawing the giant like rose in space or whatever, and that's kind of how it like signals its arrival or whatever. There's all kinds of just crazy cool visuals and stuff like this.
Yeah. The little kids holding up pictures of Godzilla was really cool.
I didn't have time. I wanted to edit that clip and have each of the kids be holding up a different like classic Queeber picture, just as the like, holding just of all the different eras of Bryan. Well, Bryan, thank you so much for joining us. I think one of the only other notes that I have here that I didn't get to is that the real monsters are society.
That's true.
It's always true. Always true. Yeah, I think that Godzilla rules. What else is there to say?
It's good, yeah.
Just in general,
thanks for having me watch it.
Great character. This is a really fun one. I think the Heisei era is definitely worth checking out. If you have Criterion Channel, they have a whole section of. They have the Showa era and they have the Heisei era. They have and then they have a bunch of all of them also on HBO Max as well, where people can go.
Yeah, they have a lot. Yeah, HBO Max has like a ton of. I couldn't believe it was on there. It's awesome.
They do. They have a bunch on there. All right, so I did make one thing here that I'll just play as I close this as we go out. Oh wait, here. Let me share this with you as well. Oh wait, no, I am still sharing. Okay, good. You still have access to this. Yeah, this is our little exit music. Everybody should listen to the Guys podcast and the POD cast. You're going to be streaming on Chris's stream tomorrow night, I assume?
Yeah, we'll be on Not Even a Show tomorrow night at 8 o'clock.
That's right, because we can't do Unaliver, Brian.
Nope, it's not even a show these days.
That's right. But it is a show. It's the Guys podcast.
It is.
Well, everybody, thank you so much for joining us. That's going to be it for today. And, yeah, until next time. We'll see you. Enjoy this music that I did. Well, I put music over this video.
Tory.